What's up, everybody? This is the Grand Light Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day, and we got a new chapter. Been a
Oh,
very inconsistent winter for One
hmm
Piece, but we got a new chapter, and it's a good chapter. Chapter 1136. Um, I do
the
not
country that awaits the sun.
thank you. That's Kev. I'm Corey. We talk about One Piece a lot. We do manga episode reviews, discussions, breakdowns, all of it. We got plenty of playlists. You guys let us know what your favorite part of the chapter was. We're gonna let you guys know all our favorite parts of the chapter, but we're definitely interested to hear what you guys feel. But
Yep.
as always, Kev, can you help get us started?
Yep. So we get the volume 22 of the Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, a mysterious hidden base in Udon. So, last chapter we had Tama being captured, and that was quickly dispatched, it appears,
By Hold'em.
by Hold'em. And so it's quickly dispatched. Hold'em kind of leads them to uh, Who's Who
Yeah,
base, a hidden base of who's who's. We're
because
assuming just
it's
because of
got to be.
the way it looks.
It's got the
Yeah,
helmet. It's got the fangs.
yeah,
It's definitely the saber tooth, and it kind of makes sense that Hold'em,
mm-hmm.
Texas Hold'em, is there with Who's Who. I haven't played that card game, but they're all card game names. You know what I mean?
100%.
So if he's like the new boss, and that was our indicator, it's like,
Yeah,
damn. You know what else is a card game? Speed. You know what I
true.
mean? Like it was the whole time.
I'm just saying the base could have been here the whole time, and it was originally because all I'm imagining is after you getting up, the Kaido uprising or the uprising over Kaido, you're not having time to do decorations like a whole who's who roof. So it's like this might have been here before the Wano,
Yeah,
like before we even got to Wano.
I would like to assume
So
that like some of these guys, because not everybody was out of the country. Some of these people are
yeah,
still in the country, so I like to think that they had their own like daimyo territories too.
sure, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And so who's kind of it looks like they're in like a forest. It kind of resorted to like a bandit camp in the forest kind of thing. Is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, I agree. So we fly back to Elbath. We're at the party with Straw Hats and all of the West Village. It appears. I don't know if all of Elbath is here or not in the Sun Realm. Luffy's just loving the meat. Obviously, I mean that's just what this is. Luffy could die happy right now. But the elder Ja Rule is here, and he's just basically telling him how the meat's procured, saying like, "Oh, this is just the finest meat for our saviors."
I think this might be the best place for Luffy and any chef really. They're saying
Oh,
that
okay.
this food is as delicious as the animal was ferocious. Like
hmm
Luffy is just gonna nonstop be eating. This is like anime hero place. They had this
Yeah.
show once called Toriko. I didn't watch it, but I guess it was just big food and fighting.
Okay.
So maybe it's supposed to be Toriko vibes. Um, but yeah, you have Yarul towering over the giants. Then the giants with all these large plates of food. Then you have the younger giants and the straw hats, and it's just like everybody's having a good time. Everybody's actually kind of this is like the mingling, you know what I mean? Where everybody's
Yeah.
just kind
Yeah.
of like, hey, partying. This is the party.
This is the party, and then like it kind of goes around. Usopp is over here, just like I'm the greatest of all time. You guys are welcome. I took down Big Oars. I know he was big for you guys, so that was pretty cool. I took him down, so I must be strong. And they don't even give a rat's ass about him though. They're like, Jinbei, you have blue skin. That's so cool. I've always wanted to see like a mermaid. And then you got Sanji being Sanji. He's trying to flirt on the Elbathian girls,
Yeah,
but
it's like it
they're
seems like
not
a
freaked
lot of
out
the
by
places that like Sanji has gone to is just like giant women.
it. Sure.
Like ever since the New World, Fishman Island had giant women.
Yeah.
Um, I guess the kids at Punk Hazard not really count, but then you go to like Smoothie, and
Yeah, I
then
was thinking, yeah, smoothie.
A lot of giant
Black
women.
Marie.
Yeah.
Black Marie.
Black
Yeah.
Maria. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I mean, they're not thrown off by it. They think it's amusing. They find it charming. They get to Brooke, and he's like, "And I'm what exactly?" And he doesn't really exactly answer. He just talks about he owns the Blues, so that's pretty cool. So we get a non-answer from Brooke again. We don't actually get any information about him. That's
Yeah, it's like
I,
say something. These guys know a lot about souls and history and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like, will you say something that these
So we
guys?
can find out,
Yeah.
please. I need to know
Will you
more about
not
you.
act like you're the oldest person in the room? Yeah. But yeah, he says, he starts saying Zoro's drinking. Zoro and Nami, the same thing every party.
Dude, yeah.
They're the two that chill in the corner and just kind of keep to themselves and just drink, and people have to go to them.
We like Black Clover here on this channel. So this reminds me of the Black Bulls, like the witch and the captain. Like this is
Yeah,
them to get. It's funny
Yami and
because they have the
Rouge
same voice. Yeah, they have the same voice
actors.
character. So it's yeah. So I always find that funny because that's what I kind of picture in my head. But apparently we're forgiving Road in this chapter. He's earning his way back in to our good graces, or at least Nami's.
Yeah, he got beat down pretty bad. And they were like,
Yeah,
hey.
they're
And I guess
whooping
it
his
was
ass.
Gerd that did the most of the beating.
No, well, to me it kind of appeared that it was a group beating because he ain't down in the bottom right. I don't know who that is, but it ain't gonna be forgiven that easily. But
Yeah.
but beating him a proper apology out of him is pretty nice, and I'm like,
So it was definitely a community beating. So it
which
was
is
like,
good. That's how you get justice. Is the community beating.
they said, hey, it still wasn't enough. We understand, but we did that.
But then we kind of get thrown to a small or oh, not yet. This isn't a small conversation.
But
But this
basically,
is
it's just
Zoro.
Zoro flexing. At the
Like,
beginning of every arc, you gotta have the Zoro flex, like where it's just like, hey, you gotta watch out for this guy. He's strong. Like, yeah,
yeah. Well, and then they get the bystander flex where it's like, dude, did you even check their bounties before you tried to snatch them?
yeah. Like,
You were obviously outclassed. It was known before you even tried.
it's so it's funny to think of like Zoro and them like beheading these giants. It's like
Yeah.
your sword is so small, but still, it's like imagine like something jumping up off your desk right now and slicing your neck off. You're like, bro, what?
And I guess I kind of have to. I'll look into it after the video. But how does Kaido's size range to this?
Yeah, I do want to have the
Because
height.
because Kaido's cutting Kaido or Zoro's cutting Kaido.
They have a
So
video of all the heights. We should do a live reaction
oh
to it.
heck yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
that's when we get the info about the sun god.
we do, and I just want to take a moment though. I think we're about to get updated bounties here shortly. This is the second chapter in a row we've gotten a bounty related comment. Last is about the owl village or the owl library. Like, oh, this is how we read the bounties. So, I'm looking for a bounty upgrade. I'm looking for 5 billion berries for Luffy. I think that'd be kind of fit. But
Damn, you heard it here first.
heard it here first. But then everybody in Elbath apparently shares the same dream. They grow up to want to be the sun god and the ruler of the world.
And then they're like, wait, the ruler? And they're like, nah, he's a god. They're like, yeah, he's a god of liberation, not a ruler. And they're like, no, he's destruction. Some people are like, no, he's laughter. So it's like, no, he's all those things. It's the guy who's sitting right in front of you, Luffy.
Yeah, as I'm saying, like everything you're describing is Luffy, which is
And
hilarious.
even Luffy's like, hey, that sounds like me. The sacred Harley text. Hey, it actually has been passed down for generations. So whatever these Harley texts are.
And it appears to be just one branch of a certain religion
Yeah.
is these Harley texts. So we have a few different branches here. So it may be different versions of the same legend, and
Yeah.
that's
That's
you know
real. That's like real
that
religious
exact.
stuff. It's
Yeah,
like they said right now, like the Harley
exactly.
text like get translated. So it's like even what we have might not be. We all we know how translations do when it comes to ancient books. I'm gonna leave it there.
I mean, I'll use an example. We read a manga that sometimes gets translations wrong, and that's in today's world. So it's like Oda could literally write it himself in English, and we still get translations wrong. So
Yeah.
2,000 years.
Plus, remember the older stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but apparently, I mean, Luffy's which is kind of character growth for Luffy because instead of saying like, "Who is this Sun God Nika guy you guys keep talking about?" He's finally like, "Wait, that's what Bonnie keeps saying."
Yeah.
Which we get an awesome. This is what we're using for the background. This is the new Sun God pose, which I mean shows
Looking
Gear
like a
Fifth.
yeah, looking like an Ed and Eddie character.
Oh, dude, now I can't unsee it, but you're right.
But
I
yeah,
mean, it's exactly what Luffy looks like. So it's like
yeah,
big smile,
yeah.
like
For me,
that's
it's the toes. It's like the
oh,
legs. It's like the legs. You know what I mean?
it needs a jawbreaker, and we're there, dude.
For real. But the destroyer. Who can say if he was the world savior or the destroyer? Herald's great change, which same thing we've been hearing all this time. We do get
Hmm.
additional information like trickled in though that helps like bring context like who Nika is, like how it's been translated so it means different to different people. There's a reason why all these giants are calling themselves the sun god. Not all these giants, but it's like different giants for different reasons. It's like we
Sure.
thought it was like a cult thing, but I mean kind of.
It's more. It is more. We were talking about it before we started recording. It is similar to My Hero, where it, instead of wanting to be a hero, you want to be Nika, or you want to at least embody Nika.
Yeah.
And there may be aspects of that in other religions. I'm not a very religious person, so I don't know that.
But I'm sure on Elbaf there's like shopkeepers that are just like, no man, I kind of just like my shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
want to be the sun god.
Yeah, we all. I mean, yeah, exactly. So we all have different, goals in life.
But this is when Yarul explains a little bit more that Nico, they say Nico was adored by white clouds, had white hair, white clothes, have contagious laughter. Luffy was like, finally, fucking somebody's making it make sense to me. No wonder everybody says I've been looking similar.
He's like, that's exactly what I look like.
He's like,
That's
why are
so
you
strange.
saying I look? Because I guess because Luffy's like looking from the outside looking in. He doesn't see his physical form change drastically. So he's like, I'm
Sure.
still just Luffy. People are like, you're the sun guy. I'm like, why are you calling me that? Like, why? I get it.
Sure.
I get it. Like this power, but it's like
He's like,
it's just
he gets
rubber.
mad.
Yeah. For all Luffy just thinks it's rubber though. Still like,
Yeah. He's
uh,
starting to get so mad. He's like, bro, I just introduced you. My name's Luffy.
yeah.
Stop.
Like everybody, y'all need to chill out. But that's the context that he's starting to get. And then that's when like the new giant warrior pirate's like, hey, no. This is a compliment, not an insult or nothing.
Yeah. So, but then we start getting a little more of a flashback when it comes to Loki because he eavesdrop in. He's like, Loki? So he's a good guy? And then they're like, no way in
That's like
hell.
some old people trail of thought too. It's like, hey, they're like, yeah, no, look, being the sun god is a cool thing. Like,
Mhm.
don't think it's a bad thing. Like, Rodo was wrong about a lot, but the sun god part, he's right. And the old man's like, yeah, wrong about a lot. Loki was wrong about a lot. Like, what, bro? Like, nobody was even talking about him.
Hey, look, he killed like your friend. Like, I get he's always in the mind. I get it.
He killed it. Well,
But
I mean, the sword's right there. But yeah, he killed Harold, the best king they've ever had. I like to see the
yes.
flashback of Harold.
Yeah, we get a little bit right here of a flashback of Loki though being kind of like a menace to society. Which, look, we've seen quite a few different Loki interpretations, and they've always been mischievous children. So that doesn't. I mean, we'll find out by the end of this that of why I don't think he's a bad guy in general.
Yeah,
But
and just look at
he
that
just
silhouette, which is why I'm like this like Nika silhouette's gonna be very different. You know what I mean? Because it's like even back then it's like Loki. I'm guessing that's him with the horns, but it's
yeah,
like
I
that's not what
agree.
he looks like. Um, over under that Harold is going to look like Thor, but like how he's supposed to be with red hair. So basically MCU Thor, but with red hair or
Sure.
something. Or actually just
I don't
Marvel
mind it.
Thor.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I think he has to be because at first, like to change a culture of a place, you have to be in order. You'll have to be strong enough to lead it, and then you'll have to be strong enough to be like hold off like the tyrannical people who don't want to change the culture in order to hold that off. But there, I want to take a second though. There was a prophecy told
I did,
before Loki
yes.
was born, and we've had prophecies listed about Straw Hats a few times that Harold would be slain by his son. Now, Harold has a few sons that we know of so far. So let's keep our head on the swivel. If we find out there's more sons out there, there's more suspects. I believe that the prophecy's true, bro. Like I believe that the prophecy's
He's
gonna
like
happen.
Loki is not a bad guy, man. He's
You ain't
like,
gonna you
hey,
ain't gonna you ain't gonna
they're dropping all kinds of
indict.
shit that's like, wait a minute, man. Like, hey, like the prophecy, man. Like somebody else definitely could have killed him, and he took the blame for it. And then shortly after his birth, the royal steed, the horse of fortune, died. That's just unrelated.
Well, yeah, but I also think like I don't know if it is unrelated, but the horse, maybe a horse like the four horsemen, who knows? But
I get that it's just like a bad omen. It's like this thing that was totally healthy, like died around the
yeah,
same time you were born. Like bro, like you're a curse. I get it.
it's it's like the last petal fell off my flower
Yeah,
the day you were born. It's like God,
yeah. But
you
for
always bring death.
me, that's
You
unrelated.
always,
You ain't putting that on me. That was the same year that Linlin murdered the legendary hero Yorul. Mm.
which that is interesting because I
That is a
don't
bad year
know.
for the Giants. I could understand why there was
Yeah,
such a mental shift after that. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Where they were like, hey man, like let's take care of these like kids. Like let's like kids are killing parents. Like if you're a kid in like during that age and you watch a kid kill a king and another one like be cursed and things around it die, you're gonna be like, okay. I feel like that generation of parents is gonna be a little bit more letting the kids do what they want to do.
Yeah. It's like, all right,
Right.
maybe we need to stop this whole war thing.
He's like, okay, you're grounded. You're not gonna spanking, but you're grounded. Go to your room or something. I don't know.
And I wonder why they kind of dropped in like, because this, I mean, we're in the final chapter. Each panel means it should mean something. So it's weird that they kind of bring up that's the same year that Lin murdered the legendary. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of
Then the
a
queen
weird that.
died.
Yeah, it's they had a rough couple weeks, which is kind of shitty. But Loki then kind of takes care of his all of his monsters and kills quite a few to all by the age of 10, which is pretty young to have your own little pack.
All right. All by the age of 10 is kind of crazy. I mean, Odin vibes. You know what I mean?
Odin vibes, yeah.
You're cursed that you're gonna go there, and he's like, all right, well, I'll just make the best of my situation, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, and they're
Yeah.
getting mad. He was an arsonist. He endangered countless lives. Like, this is Usopp telling
Yeah.
lies, like to get people's attention.
Yeah, because I mean, and I guess Marvel is kind of what I think of when I think of Loki. Like he can give projections. Like he doesn't have to actually burn things to the ground. He can just show it burning to the ground, and it's like, oh, that's me. It kind of comes to mind when he's in the jail cell and Thor comes up and he has like the illusion up where he's not a mess because his mom just died, but then he drops the illusion. So I don't know.
I would say
I don't
before
know
the
if he,
MCU, Loki wasn't a big projection guy. He does have magic. Like
oh,
he's a
okay.
really big magic guy. Like his
Okay.
magic is incredibly strong. So he
Hmm.
can make projections, but MCU
Mm.
had a thing where they didn't want to do magic, so they did the most
Sure.
minimal. But
Ah, got you.
but to your point, like he could not really be burning stuff.
Yeah.
Like he does have like those abilities. He has mystical abilities to like trick people to think they're in more danger than they are, just to get people's attention, just to get like,
Riled
hey,
up.
hey, yeah, get them riled up. Give it, hey, like focus on me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's just bad kid turned to a bad teen. Yusuke Urameshi.
Okay.
Uh,
And in this very castle, Loki killed King Harold, the greatest monarch of Elbath ever, the greatest monarch Elbath ever knew. And I don't know, is this Shadow here? Is this Harold?
I guess it's
Has
got
the
to be
same
right.
belt as Loki though, but that could be a family
Yeah,
style.
I guess it's got to be. You know what I mean?
You think so?
Yeah,
Because why would you hide Loki at this point? You
yeah.
kind of already showed him, right? That's why. Okay, I agree. To
A
get to the
splendid
a
wise
splendid
man.
wise man. Oh, go ahead.
So I wonder if he talked to Vegapunk at all, because Vegapunk was there. So if he was wise, he probably was very interested in the things Vegapunk was doing.
I agree. I think Vegapunk did come here. Um, and there Vegapunk may have already learned everything that they had to offer. That's kind of I'm assuming that's why he has so many advanced technologies on Egghead, is because of this place. It has a pretty weird atmosphere. Lilith already made comment of that on the first chapter in Elbath, or a couple chapters ago, where there's like all the atmosphere to do multiple types of things. So
I
I
wonder.
think he would. I just don't know how much of a impression Vegapunk would have left as far as changing the culture, maybe, or hmm.
I don't know. But I do think that it would just be cool to see a flashback of like him going to like them both being in the owl library.
Oh yes, I agree.
This is when Yarul, yeah, so it was like Lord Yarl was stopped trying or stabbed trying to stop Loki. He's like, my helmet saved me. He's got like, okay, man.
Luffy's like, bro, it didn't save anything, dude. Like, look,
Like, what are you
that it's
talking
going through
about,
your head.
bro?
It's literally through your helmet.
But yeah, Loki's reign was finally over 6 years ago. He was running amok at sea when Red Hair captured him. So they weren't even on Elbaf when it happened. Like Shanks brought him back, or
So,
told them, and they brought him back.
and I agree. It would. It's so. It's. I can't wait for Oda to write it. Who knows if he ever will? It didn't click for me, I guess, because I'm imagining, how do you defeat this man at sea, being the size he is?
I
I
guess,
just
I guess it's the
I
same
don't.
way. You almost decapitate him, or you just cut him a bunch of times, like really bad. That's the only way I could
And then
justify it.
transport him back here, though, is what I like. So
Yeah,
I'm thinking
the
maybe he just
transport and
defeated.
the chains is crazy, but this makes
Yeah.
the theory of like the chains were made somewhere else more
Oh,
solid.
okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. It is interesting though. I don't know how everyone from Elbath and Red Hair would have all been at sea and defeated him, or maybe this is the one time in a while that he was at Elbath and they kind of ambushed him in a way. Who knows? But it is interesting that Loki was out at sea to begin with. We knew that it had to be real. That had to be true because he went to propose to Lola at Whole Cake. But what else did he try to do?
Yeah,
Was he at Punk Hazard? Did he go to Wano?
he goes to the Sky Islands
Ooh.
because there's multiple ways for everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, did he
Yeah,
go? Like, most people haven't seen like Fishmen, but it's like, has he seen Fishmen? Like,
dude,
I wonder.
imagine that'd be crazy.
Um,
The arson, though, I want to make a point that he could be the man touched by flames, but who knows?
possibly.
Yeah.
All right, and then we go to the village outskirts where like Luffy's like, okay, this Loki guy that people have been talking about, I know he is.
Yeah. He's not gonna hide it from Zoro. So he basically tells him the short term plan, like, let's go find the key. We're just gonna beat him up. It's gonna be fine. He's gonna tell us where Shanks is. Um, and then, but if he's so strong that he kind of gets out, we have to take care of it. And then they both agree. But then Nami stops them, like, hey, like we gotta. If you think you're gonna find your way there, you're not gonna do it without me.
Yeah.
Zoro's gonna get lost. Luffy's gonna get confused.
And she's like, I'll go. And if I'm going, I might as well steal some stuff. And I'll bring my slave. Oh, this is my slave. Road. Everybody meet Road.
And Rhodes so happy to be a part of the crew. I mean, he's had such an eventful chapter. He went from being the punching bag to number 2 slave of Nami's on Nami's team, because Zeus interrupts him. Hey! Don't get there's a pecking order here. I'm slave number 1. You're slave number 2.
Remember that?
Remember this? Oh no, I'm sorry. My fault. I'm slave number 1. Sanji's number 2. You're number 3. Okay. Glad we got the pecking order.
Okay. It goes the dirt, the worms in the dirt, Zeus's stool,
Did you ever see
Road.
Shark Tale with Will Smith?
Yeah.
He's-
I'm talking about
he
Team
looks
4
like
Star.
a-
I'm talking about Mr. Popo from like that Dragon Ball Z shit. Oh,
Oh.
you heard of it. It's like from this abridged shit where he's cussing at him.
Oh, I remember
That
Shark
does
Tale.
remind me of.
He's like, and then there's me. He's like, no, hold on, I'm almost there. Then there's whale shit, and then there's you. I'm like, oh my.
Oh, and he's talking about Lenny. Bro, this is the second time in 2 days somebody has brought up Shark Tale. I haven't heard about that in like over 15 years. I could say that for a fact. It's been 15 years, and I just heard about that from 2 different people.
That's funny.
From 2 sides of America.
I was a kid back then, bro. That shit. That's an imprint on my memory forever.
But yeah, they're going to the castle. Then we get back to Loki, who is meeting up with the Gods Knights.
Yep.
They get,
The God's Knights. We'll get a name here soon for the bandage lady.
yeah, but well, it's Gunko pretty much, and she does look like she has the bandage fruit, if not some other power. But it's probably
Rap fruit.
The rap. Thank you. That's what we said before, and
that's us.
Much cleaner.
Oda, you're welcome to have it.
We will.
We're
copyright
fans
it.
of yours.
I'm a copyright.
We're gonna copyright.
You tell your people call us, and you can have it.
You can.
But yeah, Shanks is. I'm gonna call him a clone. Shanks' brother, Gunko. They basically asked Loki, like, "Hey, you want to be a God's Knight?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that would be crazy to be a God's Knight, right? But that would make me a celestial dragon, and I'm not doing that. Why would you even think I would want to? Like, I'd rather just be here." You know?
Do I look like an asshole? I'm not gonna be scum.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like at least he has. But we know that Loki has standards at this point, though. That's the thing, is he's not just ready to get out of here at any command.
Yeah, he's still
he
an
wants the right person
giant.
to let
He's
him.
still he's still royalty too. So it's like he has honor. He's like, I'm not doing that just so I can get free. Like, no, I can make other deals to get free. I don't need to compromise myself. And then Gunko's basically like, all right, well, here, that's your dog. I'm gonna choke it. I'm basically gonna hang it with my powers. I'm gonna hang this dog, and so you want me to spare him, or would that change your mind? He's like, bro, if that's how y'all gonna be, then that's how you're gonna be. Wait, Kev, you put it best, I think, the before.
Yeah, it's because look, if you're gonna be if people are gonna threaten your weakness, they're just gonna try to threaten it over and over again. It's like somebody trying to hold. We all seen the show where you capture a rich daughter and you ransom them off. It's like, okay, well you captured her once. Yeah, you already captured her once. What's going to stop you from taking the $10 million and then just keeping her? Nothing. Nothing's going to stop you. So the same thing here. He's like, I'm not gonna negotiate with you. I'm gonna grieve for my wolf. I'm gonna get angry, and then when I eventually get out this, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a problem for you, not for me.
Yeah, it's so kill my dog. I love that dog. And no, I love
That's my
that dog.
that's my favorite dog.
Yeah.
Okay,
Y'all ever
absolutely,
seen John Wick?
dude. I mean,
My
that's
friend Spider
exactly what
Snail's
he's.
got John Wick. Let's watch John Wick. Um, but yeah, so I do like this because we do have like Luffy and Zoro now running towards Loki. You know what I mean? So they're going to run into Loki. Maybe they will free Loki. Maybe Loki will just straight up betray them as soon as he sees the God's Night. Like, all right, well, now I got to do my thing.
And they're flying toward where the God's Knights arrived at. They're the West
The
Village
castle,
Castle.
yeah.
So that must be like how they get into the underworld. Like that may I think of like
Like
the
an elevator or
afterworld.
something.
Yeah, something like that. Where like that's the only way to get down
They're
there.
definitely going to
Which
run into them guards with the broken arms.
yeah, exactly. And they're gonna be like, why did Shanks do this? Shanks?
They're going to be running with them broken arms.
Shanks is here. But I mean, Gunko's ability, top notch. Good character so far. I like her. We get confirmation that she's a God's Knight. They're both God's Knights. That's awesome.
She has
So
cool looking eyes. That's cool, I guess.
she does have cool looking eyes. Um, be on the lookout. Like, what are we dealing with here? Or is this gonna be like a mummy fruit? Do they all have this ability? I've seen people say that this looks like the tail that impaled Cobra, but that did look more like a tail versus whatever this is. But
It does still have that arrow.
yeah, Oda's writing it, so who really knows? But tell us what you guys thought. I thought it was
But
a phenomenal
also,
chapter.
on that final page, look at that picture of Shanks' brother. Right? Now imagine if that cloud is red. He has
Mm,
an Akatsuki form on. They're like, hey, I got you, bro. I got you real quick. Like,
I
I
got
know
you.
what's cool. But yeah, let us know how you guys felt about the chapter. That was a chapter after a break week, I think was last week. A break week? Yeah. So
Yep.
a couple break weeks. I feel like after this, we're going to get some good content. So I think
Hmm.
One Piece is going to be ramping up again. Looking forward to this next like 6 issue like bunch. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
As always, that's
Like,
Kev.
comment,
I'm Corey.
subscribe.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.